Hello everyone, I am Mr. Clark, and now I will help you to overview your lesson today about trigonometric function of sum and difference of measure of two angles. We have here sine A plus B, which equal to sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. Again, sine A plus B equal sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. And sine A minus B equals to sine A cosine B minus cosine A sine B. So sine A positive or negative B equals to sine A, the first angle, plus or minus the same sign, sine A plus or minus cosine B plus or minus cosine A sine B. And we have here cosine A plus B and cosine A minus B. Cosine A plus B equal cosine A cosine B, opposite to the sign, minus sine A sine B. So cosine A plus B, cosine cosine, sine sine, different sign. Cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B. And cosine A minus B equals to cosine A cosine B plus sine A sine B. So cosine A plus or minus B equals to cosine cosine, sine sine, opposite to the angle, A B negative positive A B. And tan A plus or minus B, tan A plus B first, tan A plus tan B over 1 minus tan A tan B. Tan A plus B equals tan A plus tan B over 1 minus tan A tan B. And tan A minus B equals to tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B. Remember that. So tan A plus or minus B equals to tan A, the same sign, positive or negative, tan B over 1, opposite to the sign, negative and positive, tan A times tan B. Let's see an example. Find sine 75 and the cosine 15 without using calculator, of course. Each angle is 75 and 15. I will change it to 60, 45 and 30, the special angles which I can find sine or cosine or tan from this angle. So sine 75 we can get it from 75 and 45 and 30. So sine 30 plus 45, and we can expand it into sine 30 sine cosine 45, the same sign, plus cosine 30 sine 45. Sine 30 1 over 2 time cosine 45 root 2 over 2 plus cosine 30 root 3 over 2 time sine 45 root 2 over 2. So the value here will be root 2 over 4 plus root 6 over 4, which equal root 2 plus root 6 all over 4. The next one, cosine 15. 15 I can get it from 60 minus 45 or 45 minus 30. We have two ways. So cosine 60 minus 45 equal cosine 60 cosine 45 plus opposite to the sign, sine 60 sine 45. So cosine 60 1 over 2 times cosine 45 root 2 over 2 plus sine 60 root 3 over 2 times sine 45 equal root 2 over 2. We have here root 2 over 4 plus root 6 over 4, which equal root 2 plus root 6 all over 4. We conclusion from that sine 75 equal to cosine 15, because sine equal cosine if the sum of the two angles equals to 90 degree. Here find cosine 105. We can get cosine 105 from cosine 60 plus 45. So equal cosine 60 cosine 45 minus sine 60 sine 45. Cosine 60 equal 1 over 2 times cosine 45 root 2 over 2 minus sine 60 root 3 over 2 times sine 45 root 2 over 2. So it will be root 2 minus root 6 all over 4. This is number 1. The second one, sine 75 cosine 15 plus cosine 75 sine 15. This is sine cosine, cosine sine, this is sine rule. So it will be sine 75 plus 15, which equal to sine 90. Sine 90 equals to 1. The third one, cosine cosine plus sine sine. Cosine cosine sine sine, this is cosine. 80 and the 20. The opposite to the sign is positive, so the opposite will be negative. So it will be cosine 60, which equal 1 over 2. Complete sine 40 cosine 10 minus cosine 40 sine 10. Sine cosine minus cosine sine. It will be sine 40 minus 10 equals to sine 30, which equal to 1 over 2. Here 1075 minus 1015 over 1 plus 1075 times 1015. That is 10, the difference between the two angles, 75 minus 15. 75 minus 15 equal 1060, which equal root 3. Here cosine cosine minus sine sine, this is cosine, the sum of the two angles, 70 plus 20. The sum, because this angle, this sign is negative. So it will be cosine 90, which equal to 0. Sine x plus y, cosine y minus cosine y, x plus y, sine y. Sine cosine, cosine sine, that is sine. The difference between the angle, because this angle is negative. So x plus y minus y. So it will be sine x. Here we have 10a 1 over 2 and 10b 1 over 3. Then find 10a plus b. So 10a plus b equal 10a plus 10b over 1 minus 10a 10b equals to 10a 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 over 1 minus 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. The numerator will be 5 over 6 and the denominator will be 5 over 6. So the answer will be 1. Find in the simplest form cosine a minus b minus cosine a plus b. Cosine a minus b, which equal to cosine a cosine b plus sine a sine b minus cosine a plus b